What's up, guys? In today's episode, I go over the new Synergy Peavey 6505 module. Stay tuned. What is up, boys and girls? It's your boy Luis Torres, and yes, the Synergy Peavey 6505 module is here. It is amazing, and it is ridiculously brutal. So here's the one thing, and you guys know me and my Peaveys. Not only do I have one of my Peavey 5150s there, but I have a wall of Peaveys right over there, and they range from the 6505 to two 6505 pluses, another 5150 right there, which is the EVH block letterhead. Above that is the 6534, which is the EL34 version. So I kind of like, I like Peavey. I feel like, I've been a Peavey fan since the 80s. My very first amp was a Peavey Classic 212 combo. And I drove that thing with an overdrive pedal, and it was absolutely amazing back then. The thing's still amazing now, and so are the rest of the Peavey family of 5150, 6505. I even have a Peavey 6505 112 with a Celestion V30 in there. So if you have the 112 combo, I'm telling you, throw a V30 in there and you're going to absolutely love it. Did I just say V12? 12-inch V30. You guys know what I mean. So when this thing came out, they tried to kind of feature like, hey, this is what it kind of looks like, as far as having it dark and doing this artistic take on it. But the one thing everyone kind of noticed was it had a lead and a crunch channel. And a few people were like, oh, it's a Peavey. And, everyone had their kind of point of view of what it could possibly be. And then they launched this guy, and it is absolutely brutal. Literally from the word go, I ended up just throwing it right into my Synergy Sin 1. And that ran into my KSR PA50, out to my Mesa 412 cabinet with Celestion V30s. Absolutely incredible. And that's just running straight through. And I feel like they're all kind of like that. So I have this Peavey 6505, but I also I'm officially married to Synergy. So I have the Fryette Deliverance, the Bogner Uberschall, the Engel Powerball, and the Soldano SLO. I have a few. They are all amazing. If you guys remember, I had a little snafu with Synergy. Whatever happened ended up happening. Again, a little snafu. But now I'm a huge fan because, here is Synergy. And they're basically saying, buy our proprietary either single module or dual module enclosure, and for $400, you basically have a brand new amplifier. Again, whether it's a Bogner Uberschall. And here's the one thing. The Bogner Uberschall module sounds better than my Bogner Uberschall Rev Blue, which is right there. And that's just, it's a modern take of it, So that thing is amazing. The Fryette is absolutely through the roof. It's, again, another amazing amp module. The Soldano SLO, I have a Soldano SP77. I have a clone of the Soldano SLO, which is made by Myasnikov in Russia, which is the super lead. That thing is an absolute monster. So here you have this Synergy gear that you can either run alongside your amp. So you can throw it through the effects loop, and that way you basically almost have like an extra channel that you can use. or just do what I do, which is guitar right into the front of the Synergy, into my KSR PA50, which is again a 50 watt power amp with 6L6 tubes, and that runs right out to my Mesa 412. So if you're looking for something that's small and convenient, I mean, listen, if you want to get yourself a Bogner Uberschall, they're like $3,500 now, or for $400 after you get the Syn 1 or the Syn 2, you know, you can literally just swap out from one amp to another. And if you have the Synergy Syn 2, which is a single rack dual module enclosure, you know, you can literally toggle between two different amplifiers. And if you're crazy like some guys like Chris, then you can have multiple Syn 2s and literally have 4 different amps to your disposal. So it's kind of crazy the way guys use it. I know there's some guys like some studio guys that I've talked to that will actually use Synergy gear because they're getting all of these different amplifiers without having to buy them, and they have them to their disposal or to their disposal. So if they want to switch from one amp to another, they can, and it's not going to cost them tens of thousands of dollars to have, you know, an array of different amps like, you know, a Soldano, a Bogner, a Fryette. You know, it's just a Peavey. You know, it's just so much more convenient, and it's all in this little tiny enclosure. And that's what I'm using here. So I am using my 1991 ESP M2 Custom. This one has the Dimebucker in the bridge by Seymour Duncan. And let's have a listen. So again, this is literally guitar right into my Syn 1, which is right there. Which way is this going? Right there. There. It's weird because it's in reverse. So Peavey 6505 in there. Again, that's running right to my KSR PA50 into my Mesa 412. And hopefully you guys like it. Not my playing. My playing is terrible. Do not go by my playing. So switch over to my other ESP M1 Custom because the other one has a Nazgul in the bridge, which I love. It's literally, this is its twin. So I have two 1991 ESP M2 Customs. Yeah, I know that's crazy. That's why I also have two Synergy Peavey 6505 modules too. In case you didn't notice, there's the one that's in it, and there's this one. I didn't change the mics. Okay. Alright guys, so there you have it. Again, you know, the great thing about Synergy, and it's funny, I didn't realize until I got my second module that I realized how convenient it is to be able to just swap from literally one amplifier to another. And, you know, if you want, you can run it right through the effects loop again. You can just bypass it, so that way you just use the Synergy as your preamp, and you're just using the tubes in your amp as the power amp section. Or you can just run it, and that way it's almost like an extra channel, so that way you can use that as the second amp that you're using. Or, like I said earlier, just run it right into your favorite power amp section. I was running this guy out of my Mesa 290, and the thing sounds like a monster, along with my Seymour Duncan Power Stage 200, which is solid state. Again, super brutal, an absolute beast, you know, with that. So if you're trying to figure out something new, something that isn't going to cost you thousands of dollars to have all of these various different amps to your disposal, then grab a Synergy. Yo, the thing's absolutely amazing. Like, it wasn't until I got two, and then I got my third one, and I was just like, this is like magical. Totally magical. So guys, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and again, check out Synergy. I'll put a link below. The owner, Avi, is an absolutely amazing guy. So guys, again, check them out. Get your Synergy gear, and thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best, and as usual, this guy will talk to you soon.